guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. If you think yung mga pagbabago sa immigration policy ng Canada ay sumobra-sobra na, kota na nitong mga nakaraang, I guess, past 2 years. Syempre hindi. Hindi talaga, guys. Okay, I'm not saying na tuloy yung paghihigpit o magluluwag. It's just that regularly po talagang nire-review ang iba't ibang immigration pathways pa Canada. At ibig sabihin, kung regularly nire-review, there is always a chance that it is going to be updated, changes will be made, and in line with that, ito na nga, ang IRCC po nagbukas na ng public consultations para sa 2027 to 2029 na Immigration Levels Plan. Madalas po siguro ninyong naririnig, itong Immigration Levels Plan. Yan po yung nagtatakda ng bilang ng mga temporary residents at permanent residents na tatanggapin o aaprubahan ng Canada kada taon. Pag pinipresent po yan, 3-year period. So ngayon po, ang kasalukuyan merong 2026 to 2028. So obviously, that could change. Okay, siguro isa po rin sa batayan itong public consultation sa magiging resulta nito. Dahil by December this year, actually November or December, dyan po nilalabas yung bagong Immigration Levels Plan. And then this upcoming one, it will be covering the years 2027 to 2029. Okay? Pinuntahan ko po yung website, no? Kung saan anybody can contribute, pwede kayo mag-participate dito sa online, parang survey, no? From IRCC. Official po ito. If you want, I will put this pala. Lalagay ko na lang po yung link nito sa comment section. Gagawin kong pin comment in case gusto po ninyong tumulong at sumagot sa survey na ito. Online lang naman siya, no? So, ayan, no? Before you start answering the main questions about the survey, meron po munang hihingi ng mga basic information about yourself. Okay? So, ang nakasabi po dito, we kindly ask that you submit your responses by June 14. So, merong less than 2 weeks for you guys to answer this question. Pinuntahan ko po to, nag-input ako ng aking mga initial information, and then nakita ko yung mga tanong, and that's what I wanted to share with you in this episode. Siyempre ako, ako wala pa po talaga akong sagot sa mga tanong na ito, no? Siyempre, kailangan pag-isipan na mabuti. But yeah, I just wanted to throw this out there, and if you want, i-comment ninyo sa ilagay ninyo sa comment section ang inyong opinion o sagot sa mga tanong na ito. Okay? Oh, by the way, bibitinin ko muna kaya, no? Since nasa usapin tayo ng pag-update ng immigration policy, immigration plans, baka may curious po tungkol dun sa mga paparating na changes sa express entry because a while back, I also had an episode about this. Nagkaroon din po ng consultation tungkol sa express entry. So, isa po yung senyales na likely magkakaroon po talaga ng pagbabago muli sa express entry. Ito po I will share with you. Somebody sent this to me. Ito ang timeline na ipinresenta sa grupo ng mga consultants. Nagkaroon po kasi sila ng isang conference last week. This is an idea of what could happen. So nangyari po yung consultations, yung pinakauna, spring 2026. Analysis of the feedback is happening right now, summer 2026. Okay, tapos inaasahan na early 2027, dun daw po ipapublish sa Canada Gazette yung initial na regulations which will detail yung mga pagbabagong mangyayari. And then, May late 2027, isa pang publication. And then nakasulat dito, late 2027 and beyond yung implementation. However, we also received information, meron po nag-share pala sa atin, sorry. Naitago na natin sa pangalang Attorney Ludang Zalan at nabanggit po niya ito dun sa episode natin. Ito lang. There is word that the initial changes could actually be implemented as early as late 2026. Okay, balikan nyo na lang po yung episode ko about the proposed changes sa express entry or actually ilalagay ko na lang din yung link sa comment section din kung gusto ninyong balikan. So you have an idea of what could happen dito sa Express Entry, which is, of course, as we know, one of the main immigration programs of the Canadian government. Now, let's go dito po sa ating consultation for the Immigration Levels Plan. Okay, sa Immigration Levels Plan, guys, di ba nga, yung volume yan ng tatanggaping temporary and permanent residents, may breakdown din po sila dyan. O kunyari, sa PR, ilan ang i-allocate for the provincial nomination programs, ilan ang i-allocate for Canadian Experience Class, caregivers noon, merong ganyan, Ilan din yung bibigyan ng slots for humanitarian and compassionate, ganun po. Basta it's a detailed breakdown. Now, of course, the upcoming one will depend also if meron pong mga bagong streams na mangyayari. No? I'm assuming ito pong ipe-present later this year will already reflect new streams na pinopropose po sa Express Entry. Okay, puntahan ko na nga. Dami ko na namang sinabi. Ano pa yan? Parang hindi na ako sure, guys, kung in order ko to nakuha, no? Maipe-present rather. Sabi dito, our immigration commitments are to reduce the temporary population to less than 5% by the end of 2027. Stabilize permanent resident admissions at less than 1% of the total population after 2027, and increase the Francophone immigration target to 12% of PR admissions by 2029. Clearly talaga, no? Mga French draws, mukhang tuloy-tuloy lang yan. Okay? Ang tanong, what changes, if any, would you recommend to future temporary and permanent resident levels, and why? Ayan. Talagang may why, ano? Anong palagay nyo dyan? Ito, are there specific regional pressures, opportunities, or demographic trends that IRCC should consider when planning future immigration levels? Ayan, siguro isang sagot siya, no? Youth employment. Diba? Youth workers rather in Canada. Kasi nga, yan din yung isang nirereklamo ng marami ngayon dahil daw po sa dami ng mga temporary residents, temporary workers na kinuha, nawawalan daw po ng oportunidad ang youth workers dito. Okay. Next one. Ito. Last year daw, the Immigration Levels Plan reduced arrival targets for new temporary residents and stabilized targets for PR admissions. The government also introduced additional measures to restore balance and control in the immigration system by better aligning intake with processing capacity, labor market needs, and community infrastructure, while supporting transitions for PR for individuals already in Canada. Ang haba ng sentence, ano? Sabi dito, how has this approach affected your community or sector? And what impacts, positive or negative, have you observed so far? Okay. Ako, sa totoo lang, hindi ko alam kung align dito sa tanong na to. Ang hinahanap ko, ang gusto ko sana, stricter enforcement sa temporary foreign worker program guidelines. I don't want it abolished. I think it's needed, at least in some parts of Canada. Kailangan lang talaga i-enforce na maganda yung guidelines para happy-happy ang lahat. Walang naaabusong PFW, walang naaabusong employers. Yun. Kumbaga, yung nabibigyan lang ng LMIA, yung mga tunay na kailangan. Sana merong inspection, soon after dumating yung mga workers. Pwede ba yun? Okay. Ano pa ba? Ito din. Looking beyond 2029, what long-term considerations and priorities should guide Canada's immigration system? Yan. And ito pa. What challenges, barriers, or concerns exist in the immigration system that affect people's ability to come to Canada and achieve positive outcomes? Ako meron na akong isang idea dyan, guys. For example, sa Express Entry, minsan, di ba, nag-draw noon from outside Canada na applicants, yung magiging landed PR dito. Of course, yung isang concern dyan ay yung mga professionals na dumarating, di ba, ang tagal po talaga. Sometimes the process for them to practice their careers here is just too tedious. Sana mas streamline, I'm not saying na agad-agad ma-practice sila, pero sana mas simple ba yung proseso? Because yun yung tanong 'di ba? ano yung nakakaapekto sa ability nila to come to Canada and achieve positive outcomes, 'di ba? Sayang yung oras na nandito sila imbes rin na mapakinabangan na halimbawa yung mga doktor, 'di ba? Sana ma-simplify yung processes even for our nurses. Gano'n din. Okay, sana gano'n din sa engineers, teachers. Yeah, yun lang naman yung nasa isip ko. Let me know what you guys think about that. Yung pangalawa dito sabi, would you like to share any feedback about your experience completing the survey? Hindi naman pala natungkol dun sa immigration levels plan, no? At yun lang, that is it. Maikli lang naman yung survey, depende yan sa sagutin nyo kung gaano kahaba, no? But if you've noticed, medyo generic naman yung mga tanong. Walang tanong specifically on, let's say, Francophone draws or the caregiver program or Canadian experience class. It's really more on how the immigration levels plan in the past have affected your community at ano ang nakikita mo dapat gawin, no? In the future. Dapat ba yan, taasan pa yung bilang ng mga tinatanggap o bawasan or remain the same? You guys can put in your answers there. Again, up to June 14 daw, tatanggap ng mga sagot. Kahit sino po pwede. Okay? Don't think that you have to be a consultant or a business owner. No. Meron pong option doon. You are just an individual. Kahit ano pa pong larangan ang inyong pinagtatrabahuan, pwede kayong makijoin dyan. Alright? Well, that's it. I'll end this episode here. Kung ayaw niyong sagutan yung survey na to, ilagay niyo na lang yung opinion ninyo dyan sa comment section. Dyan natin mag-usapan. I'll end this episode here. See you guys in the next one. Bye!